Welcome to Align Christ-Centered Yoga. My name is Linda and I'll be guiding our practice today. Today my question for you is, how well do you connect with Jesus as friend? Jesus tells us that he is our friend. Talking to his disciples in the book of John, he says, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. And you are my friends if you do what I command you." It's clear throughout the Gospels and throughout the letters of the New Testament that Jesus' followers thought of him as friend, and that the feeling was mutual, as Jesus expresses here. I have friends that lean into the holiness of God and have a little bit of trouble connecting with Jesus' friend. I have other friends that maybe go a little bit too far with Jesus' friend, maybe really connecting into the very loving and accepting aspects of Jesus' character. I thought about my best friends, and as an extrovert, I haven't had very many throughout my life. But my best friends have been those few people who have accepted me no matter what kind of a mess I was making of my life at that particular moment. They are also the ones that encouraged me and challenged me and convicted me and helped me become the best person that I could be in those moments. I think that this is what Jesus wants to be for each of us. So I invite you today, as we go through our practice, to think about those areas where you are very comfortable with Jesus as friend, and to maybe move more deeply to areas where you are less comfortable with Jesus as friend. Come to a sitting position on your mat, either crossing your legs comfortably in front of you or bringing your feet behind you a little bit wider than the hips. And find your sitting bones. Settling heavy into the sitting bones, begin to stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. Let the shoulders, maybe shrug the shoulders up to your ears and let them drop down to the side, and just settle those shoulders in alignment with the hips. Closing your eyes, begin to find breath. Let the day fade away, and drawing your attention inward, just begin to notice the quality of breath today. Begin to check in physically, noticing how the body feels. Today's practice will be a twisting practice, and I chose it because as we twist, as we cross the midline of our body, the right hemisphere of our brain communicates with the left hemisphere of our brain. And that cross-talking is very important in the brain development. I was just thinking about that as well with friendships and communication, and connecting a little bit more deeply with Jesus today. Taking a deep breath in, bring the arms up and overhead, and this very gentle twist to the right. Again, just checking in, noticing where you might be a little tight or tender, where you might need to be a little more careful. Bring the arms up again, exhale to the left. So back and forth here a few times, arms just rising and then falling into that twist. Connecting with breath, you're inhaling as those arms rise. Breathing out as you settle into the twist. And one more time here, each direction. Next time you bring the arms up center, stay there. Drop that right hand to the mat. Bring that left arm as high up as you can. Let the shoulder anchor down. And then from the abdominals, from the internal obliques, lift up and over and find a stretch. And draw the gaze up and down. And crossing the midline of the body here as well. Beginning to find length up and down the side. And inhale and come up and over. Reach that left arm up as high as you can, or sorry, the right arm. Up, up, up. Let the shoulder drop. Starting here at the waist, coming up and over, reaching into that stretch to the other side. Again, just checking in and noticing, right? Where is the body responding to this? How is the body responding to this? As you're ready, release. Come up and off the prop or the block. Go ahead and bring that right leg out to the side. Connect the left foot into the inner thigh. Think about tree pose here. So, the tree pose with our legs. Turn your legs towards the extended leg and exhaling, draw forward. Inhaling, draw back, and check in here. So 2 more times here. Are you still guiding the movement with your breath? Next time you come forward, stay there. Begin to draw the hip crease back and the heel forward and support that leg with a block underneath the knee if you're very tight. Begin to open up across the shoulders, letting the head hang heavy. How can you use breath to release a little more tension? Gently bring that right arm, that outside arm to the inside. Again, maybe supporting it up on a block. Take that left arm all the way out. Bring it up and overhead towards your toes. And then take it out and bring it across the foot or the leg. So this, fairly simple movement of the arm, of the body, creating all kinds of connections in the brain. Next time your arm comes up and over, leave it there. Again, really anchor now into that left sitting bone. Maybe draw the belly in a bit more, the shoulder back, extending through the arm. And just finding the stretch that is best for your body. And inhale up, bring that arm across in a gentle twist, and find the twist. So create a little bit of traction as the arm connects to the leg or the foot. Again, opening, stacking the shoulders, looking underneath the extended arm. Breathing in deeply, bring the arm up and over and release. Sides. So the right leg now bent, that foot pressing into the inner thigh of the left, engaging the muscles of that left leg, that knee drawing in towards the hip crease, the heel pushing away. Draw the belly in as you exhale and come forward. Inhale and rise up. Back and forth here a few times. What's going on today? And settle into the stretch on this side, noticing where the tension is, noticing is it the same on this side, is it different? Beginning to use breath to release that tension wherever you're holding it. And maybe it's in the leg or the hip, but maybe it's in your jaw. Where are you feeling tension and how can you release it? Gently bring that outside arm to the inside, again supporting it if you want to, and the opposite arm comes to the outside. Up and over towards the leg, out to the side and across. As the arm and body move, can you keep the sitting bones anchored into the mat so that you're not raising up that right sitting bone? That might mean that you don't go quite as far, That's okay. Hold on to the integrity of the stretch. So next time the arm comes across and up and over, so you're just reaching for the toes here, lengthening through the right side of the body. Anchor through that right sitting bone, draw the belly in, stacking shoulders. Intentionally looking up or down. What's best for you? Breathing in, the arm rises, lengthening through the spine. Exhale and bring that arm across. And find whatever twist you settle into here. And take one more breath here. Release and bring the arm all the way up and out. Take the legs out to the side and gently just bring the knees in and push them out a couple of times. So I'm still on my sitting bones, just kind of releasing the muscles. Anchor into those sitting bones, flex the feet. Gently begin to walk the hands forward. And just find that stretch that's best for you. Maybe turning the toes slightly to the outside. One more breath here. Pressing into the hands, come up a little bit. Leave the legs where they are. Take your hands across your thighs and then fold forward with the body, just bringing those arms to the outside of the leg wherever they go. And let's bring our legs in maybe about 4 inches. Okay, so there's still a discernible forward fold here, but the arms are now crossed. So taking a deep breath in, raise that top arm, that forward arm, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring that under the other arm. Inhaling, the front arm comes all the way up. Exhaling, it comes under. So back and forth here a few more times. Connecting with breath. Finding that release in the back. Maybe across the shoulder blades. Maybe in the inner thigh. So many options here. Can you anchor the twists and guide it with the abdominals? So rather than leading from the hand, you're using the body to lead the movement. So one more time, each direction. Release and come center. And let the head drop heavy. Bring the arms forward again. Let the hip crease draw back, the heels forward. Just notice where you are. And gently bring the hands back up and meet me in table. Find neutral position of the spine. Just noticing the curves, keeping that head in alignment with the spine so that you're not looking too far up or tucking your chin. Anchor hip to hip across the transversus abdominals. Anchor at the center, the belly button drawing into the spine. Anchor at the base of the throat. Chin tucked just slightly as you find length in the neck. Fingers are spread wide like a starfish. There's a little tiny pocket of air underneath the palm of the hand. Press into the tops of the feet on your mat. From here, find cat, rounding the back up. And cow, bringing the chest through the arms, lengthening through the spine as you find that arch in your back. So 2 more times, cat to cow, just exploring it again, what's going on in your back today. How does this feel in the neck? Where else are you feeling sensation? Meet me back in table. Turn the right fingertips in towards each other. Take that left arm all the way up. Again, the upper body twisting, those hips holding steady. Exhale underneath as you thread your needle. And come back and forth here a few times. Rising and falling with breath. Leading from the center of the abdominals out, just using those crisscross abdominals of the obliques to wrap around the spine. And one final time here. Just going to bring that arm through, settle in, heavy on the head and shoulder. Let's take this top arm, bring it up, but turn the palm towards your head and bring it overhead. So stacking the shoulders, going heavy into that bottom shoulder, reaching the fingertips as far forward as you can. Find another breath here. Gently bring that top hand underneath the shoulder. Unwind, meet me back in table. And come back into that first child. So the hips are going to draw back towards the heels, forehead towards the mat, forearms to the mat. And come in and out of table twice here. Taking your time as you're ready, meet me back at table. Reestablish it. So, I have a tendency to keep my head way too high. I have a tendency to kind of overarch my lower back. Can you find this neutral position of the spine? Left fingertips come in, right arm rises high. Exhaling, come under, shoulders and head towards the mat. Deep breath in, arms rise. Exhaling, come under. Two more times here. Connecting with breath. Leading with those abdominals. And settling into the stretch. So that bottom shoulder, again, heavy on the mat. Fingers reaching away from the body. Raise that top arm up, fingertips to sky, but turn the palm today towards your head and just reach the arm over. How can you help the body relax into this pose? And how can you use support in the abdominals or the tops of the feet or the arms or the hands to help you with that? How does Jesus provide support for you? Inhale, gently bring that arm up and bring the hand underneath the shoulder. Unwind and meet me in table. From table again, child to table twice. Rise up into a kneeling mountain. Anchor into kneeling mountain, making it strong, drawing those hip points in, that tailbone in, anchoring through the belly button. Again, a little bit of strength right here at the base of your throat. And then as you find that balance and that strength and that steadiness, extend that right leg out to the side. And just face the toes in the direction that you are facing, so that my foot is parallel to the outside, the back edge of my mat, but your foot is going to be parallel to the outside edge of your mat. And then from here, just find that side angle bend. Just come all the way over as the hand comes to the mat or a block and you reach. And your peaceful warrior as you come back to the other side. So moving in this lateral plane here, back and forth. One more time. And then release and bring the hands forward. So wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. You're supporting as those elbows are pointing in towards each other. The shoulders are rotating towards that wall behind you. Find your twist here. So my right leg is extended. I'm going to bring my right arm up and underneath that left. And do that twice more. All the way up and under. One more time, all the way up and under, and settle as the shoulder comes down to the mat. And again, take this other arm in front of you. Just reach it forward and begin to stack those shoulders just a little bit more. And still a little bit of weight on the outside edge of your foot. Find another breath here. And gently bring the top arm underneath the shoulder. Unwind. Bring both knees underneath hips. Rise up into kneeling mountain. Exhale into a child's pose. Come back into kneeling mountain. And repeating this sequence on the other side, extend your left leg out to the side. So again, toes are pointing in the same direction as the body, so those hips are open. Drawing the belly in, find that strength and that support. Come over to the side into that side angle bend. And then up and over. Coming into peaceful warrior. So back and forth here a couple more times. Find your pace, your breath, and use those abdominals to do the work. As you're ready, release. Bring the arms up. Let the shoulders drop and relax. And then bring the hands forward. So again, we're supporting with the wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and turn those right fingertips in. Sweep that left arm all the way up. Exhale and come under. Twice more here. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. This time settle. So you're going to let the shoulder and the head come towards the mat, and you're going to take this top arm, this right arm, and you're just going to reach it far forward as you can and draw the shoulder back towards the hip. Maybe you can feel some strength in the upper back. Notice where you feel stretch. Adjust if you need to so that there is no struggle. One more breath here. As you're ready, release and unwind. Go ahead and bring the knees underneath the hips And one more time, child to table twice. Curling the toes under, draw knees up into your rib cage. Let the head drop and shake your head out no and shake your head out yes. And begin to pedal through your feet and just notice how this feels today. Any sensations in the arms or the sides of the body, the neck, the back, the legs, the feet. Breathing deeply, heels rise. Exhaling, let the heels come back and just take a couple of breaths to check in. Notice what you notice. On that next inhale, the right leg rises high. Let the gaze come forward and the foot come all the way through and rise up into your lunge. And find the lunge as you begin to sink into that front hip and raise that back leg up, and then just a very gentle bend in that back leg, not too deep, but just enough to begin to find the stretch in the psoas. And bring the right hand behind you and find as much length in the spine as you can, and exhale into your twist. And just breathe into it here. And one more breath here. As you're ready, release and bring the hands to the small of your back. Just kind of support your back and find a back bend. The arms rise and come forward, hands to either side of that foot. Begin to straighten and bend that front leg, finding a gentle hamstring stretch again. Settle into that hamstring stretch. Let the head come down. Shake it out, no and yes. And then press into the front foot and bring that back foot forward. Gently bend the knees. Shake your head out, no and yes. Take the right arm forward. Bring the left arm across your leg. Find a gentle twist here. Shake your head out. Bend those knees as much as you need to in this first forward fold. And as you're ready, go the other direction. Again, just let that head come down and shake it out. Back to center. Hands to shins, rise up halfway. Exhaling, come down, and inhaling, come all the way up. Palms together, hands to heart. One more breath here, arms rising. Exhaling, come into your forward fold. Hands to shins, rise up. Exhaling, come down. Bring that left leg back, then that right leg, find your plank. Come all the way down to the mat and come in and out of low cobra. So the first time we've done this today, again, this exploratory movement before we hold the pose. And then as you're ready, just holding the pose, engaging through the abdominals. Let the shoulders glide down the back. The chest drawing forward and up. And then draw the hips back to heels and meet me in downward facing dog. Deep breath in, left leg rises high. As the gaze comes forward, the foot comes all the way through. Rise into your lunge. And settle into that strong lunge, so that focal point on the wall in front of you. Shoulders dropping. Back of the leg lifting up a little in that micro bend to find the stretch in the psoas. Left arm comes across, right arm comes to the outside. Create that traction as you cross the body so the hand presses into the leg presses into the hand. How have your best friends most deeply connected with you? And how can you do that with Jesus? And then next, inhale, the arms rise, and exhale, hands behind you in the small of the back, connect into that sacrum bone and find the back bend. One more time, arms rise, exhaling this time, hands to the front. Either side of the foot, begin to straighten and bend that leg. Again, just notice what you notice. Some days are harder than others. Some days feels like you can do anything. Exhaling, let the head come down. You're always modifying the practice for where you are in the moment. As you're ready, bend that leg and bring the back leg forward. And find your forward fold. And hands to shins, come up halfway and exhale down and rising all the way up. Meet me back in mountain. Hands to heart. Stay here for 3 breaths and check in. So notice the connection of the feet to the mat. The way that the legs are connected from ankle to knee and knee to hip. The strength of that abdominal wall and the lower back supporting your spine. The length of the spine. As you're ready, let your hands come down, shake them out, and then bring them out to the side, just reaching out as much as you can. Press into your right foot, float your left, anchor the abdominals, find your focal point in front of you. Gently just bring your knee up. So as that thigh is parallel to the floor, imagine that you're pushing down on a step with your foot. So there's not a sense of unsupported floating here, but you're really finding kind of the work in this. And then exhaling, find that focal point over to your left and turn towards the inside of that front leg. And bring that front arm across that leg. And maybe extend that leg forward. And find your twist. And maybe you can look behind you. And as you're ready, gently bend the knee, unwind the body, and bring the foot down. And shake it all out. So a lot of work in that. Again, crossing the midline of the body, creating that contact and connection between the right and left hemispheres of the brain. Thinking about the way that we can connect and communicate better with Jesus. Pressing into that left leg, floating the right. Arm out to the side, find the strength in it. Just bring that knee up so that the thigh is parallel to the floor, foot flexed. Imagine that you're pressing down on that step. Exhale into your twist. Front arm reaching to the inside of that leg. Bring the front arm across, anchor it, and create the traction. So maybe you can lift up and out of those hips a little bit more. And the leg presses into the hand and the hand into the leg, and extend the leg. And then find that third focal point, if you can, behind you. And if you're unsteady and fall out of it, that's okay. I'm pretty close here. And then as you're ready, gently bend that leg, unwind the body, bring the foot down and shake it all out. Breathing deeply, take a deep breath in, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep the left leg where it is. Take that right leg all the way back behind you. Exhale, forward fold from the hip. Arms bent, hands connected. Bring the outside of your arm to the outside of that leg. Find your breath here. Begin to engage the muscles of the upper back. Use the abdominals for support. And then exhale, release, hands to either side of that foot. Straighten out that front leg and turn to the wide edge of your mat. Bring your hands forward and find a downward facing dog here. Wide legs. And then come to the back of the mat. Take a deep breath here, facing the back, rise into that lunge. Hands to heart, hinge forward and find your twist. So the back of the arm coming to the outside of the leg, engaging the muscles of the upper back. Back leg extended, pressing that heel towards the wall behind you. One more breath here. Release, hands to either side of your foot, straighten out that leg. Pivot towards the wide edge of the mat, toes facing forward. Downward facing dog, arms. Keep that right arm extended, bring that left arm across the leg. Start with the hand up at the thigh and just take it all the way down until you find that place where the twist is best for you. Create that traction. Again, support with the abdominals, stacking shoulders, and release, other side. Left arm extended, right arm comes back. Start at the thigh, bring that hand all the way down the leg until you find that place that's right for you. Find the traction as the leg presses to the outside, the hand presses to the inside. Can you stack your shoulders a little more? And then as you're ready, release one more time, downward facing dog back. Find the release in this. And pivot towards the front. Bend that front leg. Bring the front foot to the back, meet in plank. From plank, draw down to the knees, child to table. Come into child, one final twist here. Forearm, right forearm down, bring that left arm up. Actually, take your knees wide. Take your knees wide first. So big toes together, knees wide. Left arm rises. Bring the left arm underneath the right. And let the head come down, resting on the side of your face, right? Maybe resting right above your ear. As you begin to stack the shoulders a little bit more, feel that release in the upper back. Maybe that arm that's reaching to the side can get a little heavier. One more breath here. Gently unwind, bring both arms forward. Forehead to the mat, stay here for a breath. It's kind of restoring the spine to neutral position. And then you're going to raise that right arm up, bring it underneath the left. Shoulder and head down. Hips back towards the heels, whatever that looks like for you. Find your breath. And as you're ready, bring that hand back and unwind. And one final time, both arms forward, forearms to the mat, forehead to the mat. 2 more breaths in child's pose. Press into your hands and rise up. Come to sitting and bring your feet in front of you. Come down and lie down on the mat, back to the mat. One more round of twists. We'll find a lower body twist here. So let's start by reaching overhead. Fingers to one wall, toes to the other. Stretch as long as you can. Bring the hands up to the ceiling and then drop the shoulders. Bring the hands out to the side. Engage the muscles of the right leg. So push the foot away from the body. Draw the knee towards the hips. And then take this left leg, foot to the inside of that right knee, and gently just bring that knee across. So maybe that right arm reaches up and over that top leg. Can you keep the shoulder blades on the mat? And can you look away from the shoulders? Sorry, away from the knees, over your shoulder. I'm looking towards my extended left arm. As you're ready, gently draw back. Bring the knees in, give yourself a hug, and rock side to side. Extend that left leg long. Activate it so that foot's pushing away, pressing down through that hip, thigh is heavy, arms out to the side. You're just going to bring this right foot to the inside of that knee, and then the leg is going to go across. Maybe that left arm comes on top, that hand to the outside of that right thigh, just guiding your body into the twist that's best for you. Again, can the shoulder blades drop down heavy? So that's going to determine range of motion. Gently come back up to center. Raise that left leg all the way up to the sky. You can keep that right leg bent if you want to. Hold on to that leg. Left arm comes out to the side, and just bring the leg across the midline of the body. So you can straighten out that right leg if you want to do that. You can also bring the hand to the outside of the leg. And just notice how comfortable or uncomfortable that is. And find that stretch and that release for one more breath. Gently bring it up to center. Find your hamstring stretch as the leg draws towards you. Exhale as the leg goes all the way down to the mat. Take a moment to check in, just noticing that side of the body compared to the other. Right leg rises, extend it. Again, just bring it across the midline so that right arm's going to come to the outside. So the upper body is still and flat against the mat. Maybe that hand comes to the outside and you're guiding your leg into a deeper stretch. Maybe you're supporting it underneath because the stretch is intense. Stay here for another breath. Draw the belly in and come up. Go ahead and bend your knees. Give yourself a hug and rock side to side. And then hands to knees, just gently push the knees away, draw them in, back and forth here. And bring the feet down to the mat, extend the legs long, and settle into Shavasana. Taking those characteristics that you appreciate most about your best friends. That unconditional acceptance, wisdom, encouragement, challenge. Leaning into those characteristics of Jesus. The evidence throughout his word that he connected deeply with the people that he met. Zacchaeus, the woman at the well, the disciples that he called to live with him, the women who traveled with them. What would it look like for you to have that relationship with Jesus? Can you see it? Visualize it? Feel it? I invite you to stay here a little longer if you can. But if you need to get on with your day, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, rotate wrists and ankles, and gently turn your head side to side. Taking a deep breath in, reach those arms up and overhead and stretch as long as you can. And then draw the knees in and roll over onto your side. Gently press into your hands and rise up. Crossing your ankles, coming to a seated position, finding this pose that you started in today. And checking in one final time, body, mind, and soul. Noticing what has changed, what has stayed the same since you came to the mat for your practice. And that next inhale, arms rise, palms together, and exhaling, bring hands to heart, bowing your head. Joining me in prayer. Jesus, we are so grateful for your friendship. We are grateful that you are with us through the best and the worst of times, that you are there to laugh with us, that you are there to weep with us. We thank you for the ways that you challenge us, that you push us to our limits, that you encourage us to grow. We are so thankful that you are always, always by our side, even when we turn away from you. The most loyal friend we could ever imagine. It is in your name that we pray. Amen. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.